Hi everyone, it's Julia here with you again, and today we're going to talk about a very popular topic, a very popular question that I get asked about the law degree, the Juris Doctor. It's a very important question, and it's about employment. So today we're going to talk about what's the employment market like in Australia in particular. Is it hard to find a job, and where else can I take my degree if I choose to study law? So let's go. Okay, so you're deciding whether you want to study law. Big question. And maybe you have already made this decision and you're in your first year or you're just about to start law school and you're thinking, well, I'm actually going to be able to find a job after this. And a lot of you have asked me, especially if you're international students, will I be able to work in Australia? And what's the Australian job market like when it comes to being employed in law? The answer to that is, well, it really depends. This is a very typical legal answer that you'll hear a lot if you go to law school, and it depends. It depends on whether you really want to practice law in a certain area. And I would say that there's all of these different echelons and all of these different careers that you can take after law school, and it really depends because some areas are more competitive and some areas are probably not as competitive, but maybe there are fewer positions available, or jobs like that are not as popular in Australia, for example. So we can talk about the different types of employments that I've seen my friends go through after law school, that the kind of employment that I'm in at the moment, which is working for a commercial law firm, which is very international. And it really depends on what you want to achieve after law school. If you really want to practice commercial law, the most likely path that you will take is with a commercial law firm. And usually that would be through a clerkship that you complete over a winter or a summer period over your break in your penultimate year. And that means that if you did get that clerkship, you're more likely to then stay on with the firm, become a graduate, and continue on in a commercial law firm setting. The clerkship process can be very competitive, so keep that in mind, but it doesn't mean that you won't be getting one. A lot of my colleagues after graduation have gone into smaller firms, boutique firms, local Australian firms, and have done quite well. A lot of them went to work for the government departments, whether it's local council, whether it's, it could have even been in the capital, so in Canberra, in the ACT territory. So there's lots of pathways is where I'm going with this. And it was actually interesting that when I started my degree, there were a lot of fears that were projected onto new students. And even from the faculty itself, from the law faculty itself, you could hear some lecturers or some career advisors talk about how there's not a huge shortage of lawyers in the market, and it is competitive to get a job. And that's primarily because every single university in the country provides some kind of a law degree. I shouldn't say some kind, but almost every single university will have that qualification, and you can gain a legal qualification just because it's something that's quite accessible to set up. You need to hire a good professor, and you don't really need a lab space, for example, as you would with science. You don't need medical facilities as you would with medical students. You just need to have a classroom, and now you just need a webcam and a good professor to just teach the course. So it's quite an attractive course to teach at universities, but as a result of that, because there are so many graduates in law, there's probably not as many job opportunities, and it doesn't mean that you will not get a job, because I did not see any of my colleagues struggle. Every single person that I know and have met at university is now employed, and in Australia we don't really have a huge unemployment rate, so you might not necessarily get into something that you really want straight away, but it doesn't mean that you will be jobless. That is not the situation. That is not what I've experienced. That is not what my friends have experienced or anybody that I know, and I haven't really seen people struggle to get that employment. And you know, the only thing that you need after law school is basically a couple of years of experience, and then you can take it anywhere that you want. You can go international, you can continue, or you can swap, you can go to another law practice, and you know, you can just keep building on that experience. But there's definitely not this hurdle of, you know, getting employed, and you worry about being unemployable, and especially if you go to a well-regarded school, there really isn't you know, a challenge to getting employed in Australia. That would be my honest observation, and I wouldn't let others' concerns or statistics or, you know, certain advices that you receive about students, law students being employed globally, and there's a trend and not enough jobs and law students are not in high demand. I wouldn't let that dissuade you, just because I haven't really seen anybody fall into despair and unemployment after they finish a law degree at my university and generally in Australia. So if you really want to do it, the unemployment thing should not be the thing to scare you off getting that degree, that's for sure. So I hope this was a helpful video for anybody that had questions about employment, unemployment, legal jobs. I will make another video relating to employment and the law and the best way to make sure that you're getting experience while you're studying and how to get that experience, and then use that experience to get your first law job. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, ask me any questions, subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this, and you can follow me on Instagram at Live Shop Travel. Thank you. Till next time.